now live.
There we
Yay!
go.
What's going on, friends? I mean, legend, you know, usually we like to kind of like keep it around with what's happening. And Stanasius, he's in Mohegan Sun currently. We have a lot of stooges in NV right now, so it's a pretty good time. We have currently Dave Saintek having a picture with Vaping with Ken and posting a picture of Mr. Just Right One too.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's freaking good, man. And you got at least a lot of people, showing up their setups. And oops, Lizzie had a picture of Michelle Lynn, Poon Sauce, and Omelanta. Mm-hmm. Which is really good. So yeah, NVE season. So what's going on, legend? So this is Wolfbite Podcast for you guys for today. This episode, Clown is currently enjoying his, day off or time off because he doesn't like me anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to hang around with our fellow Texan, not Texan because I'm not in Texas, but pretty much right now I think everyone knows that I love Texas maybe because I like J.A. or as everyone knows him, Clown. I like the Garrities. I kind of like Stan maybe, and I like Joel. So we're gonna hang around with Mr. Texas Cloud Town. What's going on, man?
what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Basically,
Weather.
DC's the only one watching us right now, so not bad, not bad. So right now, man, for the podcast, we usually start with what we're vaping on, and so take it away, Mr. J.
Just got the Revenant Cartel.
Dude,
Just got it in today,
actually,
and I got
dude, I like that Revenant to
yeah,
be honest.
yeah. I
The
like the
color's
color
pretty
on it,
fucking good.
and I got the Axial on top with
Ooh,
some of Mr. Klownevapes juice. The Miss or Mint Me,
mint
it's,
me.
mint chocolate chip cookie. It's really good. Let's
It
see.
is.
Next, I got the Purge with the Goon 1.5 on it with some of this Dew Time lemon bar.
Nice. I like lemon
Um,
bars.
oh yeah, it's really good. And then I got the Lost Vape Orion with some of my local favorite, the peanut butter custard from my local
Nice.
shop. Support your local brick and mortars.
Hell to the yeah.
And then last two, I got my gear on top of my coil art box, little mechanical box I got
Yeah.
with some of the strawberry guava jackfruit.
Patch and
And
mama.
oh yeah, and then I got my Pulse Dual. I finally got it back with the RDA that comes with it. And inside of that, I got the Ripes Collection Strawberry Nanner. It's pretty good
Hell
stuff,
to the
man.
yeah. Hi, Breeze Stones. I see it too. Yeah, so basically that's what he's vaping on. For me, the Orion Q. Honestly, I like the Orion, man. Like it's really good vape for like whatchamacallit. Like a loose mouth to long or like a tight direct long kind of thing. Cause I was a direct long smoker. Let's be honest on that. I was a direct long smoker. So one of the great things is, get those kinds of devices that's kind of like a little bit loose, but you know, hits like what you remind yourself of how you were hitting a cigarette kind of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
and that I don't have the bottle with me right now, but it's Illusion's Profit. It's kind of like how pop like Sprite tastes like, and then you add a little bit of strawberry into it.
Ooh,
That's how it tastes like. And then next, the MyPod, MePad, or MePod, whatever you want to pronounce it again. So it's that with, you know, 12 monkeys, Canadian juice. You support your Canadians too, and manga bees, mango, and some
ooh,
tropical fruits. And another thing, dude, this is like one of the things that I've been vaping on for the past like couple of weeks. Like this
man.
awesome Daldime, which has an expiration date into it as well. So you know, Daldime with an Axial RDA and that Lucid RDA trip tip that I had from my LE Dreamer. Really good stuff, to be honest. And I have Vapor Junkie Dream Cream, some blueberries and cream kind of thing. Ice cream. Yeah, you know. And last, definitely not the least, this is kind of like patinaing. Patinaing? Patinaing? Yeah, because like this on this spot, it's like if it would focus. Yeah, you see the patinas already,
Looking
right?
good.
I
I'd keep
like
it that way.
I keep it that way, dude. I'll be honest. So that's the MDX 3-in-1 kit with a unicorn RDA on top of it. And dude, honestly, Mint Me by Mr. J's Vapor Solutions that you can get on Klownevapes.com for all your coils and juice needs. Dude, honestly, first impressions, I am reminded of those Oreo cookies that has like a mint flavor into it.
Hmm.
So, dude, like one of the best things is like when you're reminded of like a childhood thing, and this would go to our advocacy topic later on. So, when you're reminded of like what you're eating, kind of thing, that is a mark of a good juice or a good flavor, to be honest. Because when you vape, you usually like look for flavors, right? And let's be honest on that. Everyone likes flavors. But here again, and we don't want to rant about this, but our vape news sponsored by vapenews.com or Vape News Magazine, always a good source for your vape news and advocacy. Bam bam. So basically here again, FDA cracking down on flavors.
Hmm.
Basically, for those who don't know, by the way, there is an interim or acting FDA commissioner, which is Norman Ned Sharpless. He, as far as I know, he has been like the chiller kind of like type in terms of vaping. So hopefully it stays that way. But as of the moment, we don't know yet. So just keep your eye out,
Yeah.
for this stuff. So FDA takes aim at flavors by guess what? Our favorite Angela Garrity. Dude, Angela. Angela's like just a really great person. She writes always and she works hard for this vape news.
Oh yeah. She works really
So
hard.
I know, and dude, like she's always writing all the time too.
Yeah.
So here it goes. FDA is aiming at flavored tobacco products, putting flavored cigars, and e-cigarette enforcement to notice. The proposal would ban brick and mortar stores from selling flavored tobacco products, and unless the store can prevent minors from entering or they create like a separate area for sale, all of minor accessibility, menthol, and tobacco would be excluded. The proposal also restricts online sales of flavored tobacco products by requiring retailers to use age verification tools before allowing the sale to be completed. Products sold online must be independent of third party age and identity verification services that compare customer service or customer information rather against third party data sources such as public records. And the FDA also notified the end producers, like the electronic nicotine delivery systems producers, that part of this draft guidance verifies the FDA's expectation of all flavored and products other than tobacco, mint, and menthol flavored that remain on the market under the circumstances that you limit youth age access and appeal also to submit pre-market application before August 8th. 2021.
Hmm.
What's your opinion on that?
Man, my opinion on all this right now with the 21 and all that, like I'm not really big into the 20 where they want to change the age to 21, but all these convenience stores, the cracking down on them is something I really like that we're actually doing,
Yeah,
or the FDA is doing, and I would say I don't really. I mean, whatever makes it easier to get someone off of cigarettes, which is really good that we do have some inconvenience stores.
yep,
But the one thing I don't like is that they're not really putting forth the effort to check an ID. It takes an extra second. I mean, if we can't have people who are younger do it, then we need to get people in there who are responsible enough. Because I mean, most times that is what's paying for what you're doing for a living. It's paying for how you live. It's paying for all that. And you might have 2 to 3 jobs, but if you lose that job, that takes that much pay out of what you think you're going to have for a week or 2 weeks or a month,
yeah,
and it takes pay away from you. And honestly, the people should be scared that they're going to get pay taken away from them if they aren't doing it. So I mean, I think the FDA really does need to crack down on some of this. But the vapor stores are the people who I think are doing the best job of checking IDs, and that's I think Scott Gottlieb actually commended the vapor stores
yeah.
on one of his little weird things where he commends them, but then he bashes on them. But he was commending them for how good they were doing on checking IDs, and I think that's really good that vapor stores are checking IDs. I mean, I even know in my local vapor store that even if you're a regular, they still check your ID.
Hell yeah.
And that's something that they need to do because you never know. I mean, you could have a kid come in there, he could be a regular, but he might have a fake ID, and one day he might pull out the wrong ID. Then boom, right there, you solved your problem, and you know, okay, this kid can't come in here.
Yep.
But I mean, taking kids into vapor stores and stuff like that, if you're a parent and you have a kid with you, I think it's okay to be able to take them in there with you.
Yep.
But whenever they look like 17 or like 15, 16, it might be a little bit questionable. But I mean, if you have a kid and you're a single parent or something like that, I think it is okay to be able to take a kid in there with you, buy your juice, because they know you're not buying it for a 5-year old or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Because think about it this way too. Like, I had like a vape shop that I usually frequently visit, which is Vaping Bar here in Langley, BC,
Mm-hmm.
Canada. And one of the guys had like babies. And
Yeah.
currently I'm not judging, but based on what I saw, he's the only one out there. No, no guardian, or there's no the mother's not there presently.
Yeah.
So he wanted to buy a juice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he wasn't entering the shop mainly because he has a kid on hand. So
Mm-hmm.
what the store needed to do was to send him like the bottles, and then, dude, I want to try that. Oh yeah, I'll just hand it over to you. Try it outside, and then you can pay us that way.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, if you crack down on like those kinds of like people that is like single parents that brings their babies along with them, dude,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm sorry, but it's unsafe out there, man. Like,
It is.
you don't know who's going to like come close to like your one br- your the store. You don't know who enters the store usually all the time. All you know is they like enter, and then you grab their IDs. Second, you don't know who will come close to your son or daughter who's currently, you know, being like just a baby. He doesn't know anything, only knows how to eat, poop, and sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, but that's the thing. It's like we try to restrict everyone's rights. We try to restrict everyone's not rights mainly, but check IDs. We do our part for verification. And here are people acting like their lives are not actually dependent on it. So, dude, like, that's how usually I feel about people who's working in a shop. It's like you need to act like your whole life is actually dependent on it. Plus,
Mm-hmm.
DC Rackley in chat actually said that a vape shop open here inside of a convenience store slash gas station. Thought that was weird and not sure if I like that idea. To be honest, like I don't know if I don't know about you, but sometimes if you work in a convenience store too, you earn like barely like minimum, right? But
Yeah.
the thing about the thing about your job is it's the one kind of like feeding you right now. It's the one that's giving you the money to live. So you have to act like your life is actually dependent on it. And I'm sorry for people who's hearing this for like a lot of time, but dude, like if you work in a shop, or in work in a convenience store, the least you can do is actually try to at least, try to at least very least try to check damn IDs. I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying I'm saying it slower so pretty much everyone would understand it. You know, yeah. But in regards to flavors too, like so FDA again taking aim on flavors, I think we've established for the longest time that we like flavors.
Oh yeah. I mean, you saw how many flavors I had with me.
Yeah, like if you see like people having like boxes of bottles of like flavors like this, or like people having like bins of juices with like wide variety of flavors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So especially like last night, like I saw you with like a whole bin of like of juices, a lot of flavors, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. I got like 3 bins of juices right now, and I just got more in today.
Yeah. Which one?
I got the lemon tart. I got this one right here. It's a watermelon lemonade.
Yeah.
So back to what we were talking about yesterday, man. I've been loving the lemon flavors here lately.
Lemon
Um,
tart, lemonade. Yeah.
I got this one. It's a strawberry hibiscus green tea or something like that.
Ah. Yeah.
So I was like, man, I really want to try that. And I got another one. It's that peanut butter tobacco I was telling you about. I got
Bro.
that one in too. So I'm really excited to try those out today.
Yeah, and usually it's like, when usually you're in a show and pretty much like let's say vaping with the homies or like
Mhm.
vapes too, and pretty much like every vape show that you come across starts with a buffet. And it's not mainly because we want to showcase like, yo, I'm vaping on this or like I'm vaping on that. But mainly like for me, the ones that we want to showcase is the wide variety of juices that we have. This is a
Mhm.
mint chocolate, cookie that
Man,
you could taste. Mint
I'm
me.
loving it.
Oh man, I'm loving mint me, man. Currently, dude, like I'm just vaping on it on the Mac. Dude,
Mm.
like it's so freaking good. You should go to klownevapes.com for all your vaping needs, actually. But aside from that, we try to show like wide varieties of flavors because I'm a 25-year-old man, going 26. Doesn't look like it. People would judge. I look like 21. Sure, I'll give you that. But dude, aside from aside from me being an adult, I also like my flavors. I do play games. I do play Fortnite, sometimes Apex Legends. But dude, if you ask any vapor out there, they actually love their flavors so much. You know?
Hmm. And kind of speaking on what you were talking about earlier, about how the mint me brings you back to like your childhood. You taste like the mint chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
I had a fried banana. I actually just ran out of. I believe the brand is Fried and is their banana flavor. And they had
Yeah.
like cookies and cream. They had a bunch of different good flavors. But their banana one, to me, it brought me back to my childhood. We used to have this truck called the Swans Man truck. And he would come by and he had a bunch of different foods in there, like frozen foods that you could heat up or you could microwave and stuff. And it's just made it easier instead of going to the grocery store. Whenever he came by, go by and pick it up.
Yep.
He had these banana popsicles that were so good. And every time he would come by, and when I was younger, I was like, Mom, get those. You have to get those. You have to get those.
Yeah.
Every time she'd get them, man, when I got that fried banana flavored, man, it brought me straight back to those. And I was like, I want to go buy some right now and try it to see how similar it is. Because it's been years since I've had one of those, but man, that flavor just brought me back to like the past when I was a kid. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Yeah, and mainly like you're also trying like vast amount of flavors and not just vast amount of flavors. You actually like it's like a child in your heart that's smiling kind of thing.
Hmm.
So that's why like for me, we showcase like lots of flavors here and there. And I just like showing like what juices I'm vaping on because I like people to also have their own taste or their own palate. That being said, we're going to go to like on the lighter note because I mean we like talking about advocacy
Hmm.
and things like the things that I like to do, especially that Clown is currently like away and I have my guest, Mr. Texas Clown Town. So first, introduce yourself to pretty much the whole world. Who is Texas Clown Town? What does he do?
Well, what's up, everyone? I'm Texas Cloud Town. I'm Jay. Um, if y'all want, y'all can look at my YouTube account and go to my bio and stuff in there. And I got all my social medias and everything if you want to go follow me on those. And if you want to subscribe, I do a weekend wisdom advocacy. I call it my weekend wisdom vape vlog.
Yep.
And I was actually thinking about changing the name, but I kind of like it how it is right now. But what I do is on that, I bring up a lot of topics that are going on right now to date. So that way everyone can kind of see them and they can kind of get familiar with all the laws and everything.
Yep.
And then I talk about what I'm vaping on. And then I do a lot of different reviews. Like I did a Pod Week review last week, and then I do a bunch of different product reviews, juice reviews, pretty much anything that I want the community out there to be able to see. Because
Yeah.
I want to pertain to the newer vapor. I don't want them to be scared on what to buy once they first get into vaping. I want them to say, you know what, I've had a sub ohm tank. You know what? I think I want to try the Gear RTA. It looks pretty simple. Someone put a review up. It looks really easy to do. Or oh, I wanted to get into this kind of pod system because I want to stop smoking. I want to make it easier for people so that way they are not scared of it. But other than the vaping stuff, I actually work at a plant where we make rubber for oil and gas and stuff like that.
Mm.
So we make the rubber for like gaskets and stuff that go in the water and stuff that goes overseas, and we make it a bunch of different kinds of rubber. But that's just what I do whenever I'm not on YouTube or anything.
Yeah. So basically, my other question to you is how did you start vaping and how has been your vaping journey and who encouraged you to vape actually?
All right. So when I first started vaping, I actually I reopened my Twitter. I haven't had it open in a long time. I
Mm.
opened it up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look back and see what I had on there. And I used to dip a lot, so I used to get Copenhagen Mint, Copenhagen Original, and everything. And I used to dip, so I was like, you know what? I want to try something to get me off of this because my mouth just started hurting real bad. And I actually looked back and it was like about almost 6 years ago, probably about 6 years ago in this month that I actually bought my first vape, and it was a Ego Twist with one of the little tanks that come with them. And
Ooh.
man, yeah, it was a long time ago. So I started on that, and then I eventually I bought that a couple miles away from my house and everything. Excuse me on that one. And then we went to our actual town. They actually opened a local vape shop, so I went to that once that was open. And shout out to them, Freedom Vapor. They don't have I don't believe they have a website, but check them out on Facebook. I mean, really good people make some really good juices.
In
But
Texas.
in Texas. But I went there and they're like really helpful people, man. They every time there was like a new trend to something, if I wanted to try it, they would try to buy a couple. I remember whenever the mechs were real big, they were buying mechs. Whenever the market went to RDAs or when it went to sub ohm tanks, they usually try to switch it up to what is pertaining to everyone. But they also in their store they still have the old stuff like the ego pins that people really want just for
Yeah.
there's a guy who came in there the other day. He had an ego pen with an Aspire tank on there, one of their little first tanks that they came out with, and he's like, that's all I use.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they try to pertain to everyone. But after a while, I eventually got off of vaping.
Mm,
So I vaped for probably like 2 3 years, and then I got off of vaping because I was like, you know what, I'm good. I don't need vaping no more. It's kind of getting expensive. Let me just stop vaping. I'm not smoking. I'm not chewing tobacco no more. I'm good. And then eventually I got to a higher up position in my job, so I was getting more stressed. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna start chewing again. And I
mm,
started chewing tobacco again. And then eventually I was like, man, it only didn't even take me a month to realize that this was hurting my mouth again, and it was something that I shouldn't be doing. So I went back to my local vape shop and I said, hey guys, y'all got anything y'all can help me out with? I want to buy this, or just what's new. And they helped me with a setup. They got me what I needed set up and put me on my way. And I've been vaping for probably about a year and a half, 2 years now.
yep.
Back again. So total probably about 4 or 5 years. But yeah, I mean, vapes helped me so much. It's helped me a lot. And then the community of people in vaping, I've met some rude people, but everyone in the vape community is pretty much has open arms, and they'll help you out on anything. Like
Yep.
over on the Discord and everything, everyone's just super nice, helps out. They put on there what you're vaping on, and they try to help you out with anything that you possibly need help with, coils or anything. So, I mean, the vape community is really good, and they really help out a lot. So I really want to thank everyone in the vape community for that.
Especially in the vape community nowadays too. And quick shout outs to like pretty much this and people who've helped us achieve where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, just the Garrity's, man. Like the Thick Nick and Angela Garrity. Dude, one of the best things that you get in life is the people that are actually who actually cares for you. And it's not that they only care for you because you're part of the vape community. They treat you like their own family as well.
Yep.
And I've been, and I'm just going to be openly honest to pretty much everyone here that sometimes you get discouraged, like spreading advocacy, and you get discouraged a lot when you're spreading the good news out there for advocacy, and you're doing, you're trying to do a good job of spreading it. And I told Technic about it that I was kind of like discouraged, that it has that it's not like what you call it. It's not taking off.
Mm.
You notice a lot of things that's happening, and you're just trying to point it out to other people. And sometimes, like people have either like deaf ears or they don't want to listen to you. But the biggest thing that Nick told me is remember what got you into here and why you started this podcast kind of thing. So I was trying to remember like back in like episode 1, of the Wolf Bite podcast. If everyone wants to listen to it, it's on SoundCloud. That was the good 30-minute me, you know. I try to I try to indulge with all advocacy side. And Nick reminded me that you're actually doing a good job. You just need to like do advocacy. And that's just like one part of the Garrity. The other one is like Angela is just like getting you news and advocacy always that you need, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why sometimes you have like a content for you to do. Like that for me. Like they are just one heck of a guy or guys rather, and we're speaking of like just the not just the Garrities, but Clown Vapes, who is also an NVE. Oh, by the way, Garrity's are in NV too. So, check their Instagram soon. And dude, like Clown is one of the awesome guys that he doesn't usually speak about things. He doesn't want recognition, but he actually does a good job on not just the website, clownvapes.com, but also helping out to his not just doing his own thing, but helping me out in this wonderful podcast journey. So that's one big, shout out thing that we want to do, and a couple of shout outs here and there. DC Rackley, what's up, man? And we also had Texas Cloud Town, of course, in chat. And Breezetones, hi. On my way to the airport, didn't know there was a live going on. Yeah, it was just all of a sudden, to be honest, man. Train Sonic, what's going on, man? Much love and support. But yeah, dude, like you have like a lot of good people in the community, man. Dude, it's just like a wonderful, wonderful, you know, community that we have, honestly.
Oh yeah, and it's just like he said, it's not like they're only there for vaping needs. Like I honestly, I know I could message Frames Janklin or James Franklin, whatever I want to call him, or I could
Mm-hmm.
message Clown. And I'm pretty, or any of the Garrities. I'm pretty sure any of them would help me out on something if I needed help, or if it was like a personal problem or something I was going through. I'm pretty sure I could have someone there to talk to, or even you. I mean, there's so many people out there that are just so nice, and it's weird because you look at it like most people when they see a smoker, like, oh, that guy must be rude or something.
Yeah.
But all these people, they used to be smokers,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're all in the vape community, or they used to do some kind of tobacco product, or they just wanted to start vaping. And there's just so many good people out there in the like. I mean, you can honestly go up to any of them and ask them, "Hey, what's the best setup for a starter?" Or "What do you think I should get next?" Or you can go up to them with a personal problem, and they'll be there to help you. That's I just really want to thank the vape community for that. Everyone's just so nice and helpful, and they're not all about their self. They're about everyone else too, which is really cool.
Yeah. And other cool thing about the vape community is we know how to share a lot. I mean, not just on the vape spending kind of side, where it's like, hey, I have a new Mac, man, and dude, I want that one too. And you're right off the bat going to order something, either from lucidrda.com or from everywhere else. But dude, the good thing about sharing in the vape community is learning their stories.
Hmm.
Speaking of learning stories, I also want to learn your story about your weekend, advocacy show. Like what started you going into like a weekend advocacy show, and what did you have in mind when you wanted to kind of like cater to like the beginner or starter to immediate kind of like vapor in your
Hmm.
show?
When I first started it, I really was. That's honestly what made me start a YouTube channel. Whenever I first got back into vaping, like I was talking about earlier, I quit and I got back into it. There's all these laws that just came out, and like I went in there and I'm like, oh hey, hey, how y'all doing? Let me try this flavor. Like, oh, you can't try flavors. I'm like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, you're not allowed to try flavors. So
Uh-huh.
I was like, wait, that's a weird thing. They're like, yeah, it's a new law with the FDA. We had to submit all of our flavors. And I kind of knew a little bit about that because I would still go in there and talk to them and stuff while even when I wasn't vaping because there's great people.
Yep.
But they were like, yeah, well, we had to submit every single flavor, every single nicotine, every single bottle size to the FDA so that way they could approve it. I was like, huh? And they said you can't even try flavors. So, and then I started looking stuff up. I'm like, dude, there's so many more laws coming out, like the 21. They want people to be 21, or they're trying to do flavor bans. And
Hmm.
I've stayed up to date with like a bunch of Grim Greens vlogs, even when I wasn't vaping, because I mean he's just a really cool guy, and I love watching his show.
Yep.
And it's just once I got back into vaping, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be that person who it's helped so much, but yet did nothing to help it. I didn't want to be the person like me and the Garrities. We were talking about this a while back. I didn't want to be that person who they're like, you know what if like whenever you go to vote for your president or your anyone in your town or city or anything like that, you want to complain about them. Oh, well, they're making me pay this for taxes, they're making me do this for that, but you didn't go vote. I didn't want to be that person to complain about something but not do nothing about it. So I wanted to put out there as much content and help out the vape community for how much they've helped me. So that's honestly why I started YouTube, was to get an advocacy show started, doing advocacy stuff on the weekend. And I eventually came up with a name, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start it.
Yep.
And I mean, honestly, pretty much everything I get is from Angela Garrity over
Yep.
there on Vape News Magazine. Her and all the other writers do such a great job with getting out content, and it's not like they put it up there once a month. The Vape News Magazine gets updated like daily, sometimes
Daily.
more than once a day, and there's just like so many different reports that they put out there that are just so good to have so much good information in there. And
Mm-hmm.
pretty much all of, like I said, all of this stuff that I put out there on my channel is just me reading that off and giving them my perspective of what I think of it. So I mean, I'm not the real person to that's really doing the advocacy stuff. It's mainly them, but I just want everyone else to. I want to broadcast it so that way everyone else can try to listen to it, because a lot of people don't like to read. But
Yeah.
I mean, someone might want to put on a 15, 20 minute video of stuff so that way they can actually go on there and just listen to it. And that's honestly what I do most of the time on my way to work. I listen to podcasts. I listen to shows I missed the day before, so that way I can kind of listen and hear what stuff's going on, so that way I can be up to date and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I notice usually that if you're doing advocacy side of things, usually I know people like to write, and I know people, you know, love to make their voices heard. So
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, it's like the avenue now for advocacy is either doing videos or actually going YouTube, or for other people starting a podcast like I do, because I was a little bit camera shy-ish, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that starts pretty much everything is, or started, like, let's say a podcast or a YouTube channel, is somebody inspired them to do it, you know. And I want to talk inspirations here, because I know you got your inspirations, and I have my inspirations too. But who are your main, let's say, influences in doing your YouTube channel and spreading advocacy?
Um, let's see. I would probably have to who mainly got me started into doing it.
Yeah, and
Um,
maybe even pushing you further to, like, actually do it, you know?
yeah, I would probably have to say who actually got me really big into it was my vape shop. And I don't
Yeah.
want to put too much credit for them, but they really helped me out a lot. And they like I can honestly go in there and have a chat like this, and they'll just be sitting there, and we'll both be talking about the same thing, and just constantly back and forth with a bunch of advocacy stuff, and just help and seeing them not really struggle, but with all the laws that they're gonna have to struggle with, it kind of made it to where I'm like, you know what, I kind of want to help them out. I want to do something to where I could help out at least the community. So I would give a lot of credit to them. But then there's like people like frames. Like I honestly I really don't watch too many of the big people in vaping, like Rip Tippers. I don't really watch him. I don't really watch Mike Vapes. The main big one, I guess I could say I watch, is Grim Green. I really liked his 510 report when he was doing it, and when I noticed that he didn't do it for 2 or 3 weeks, I'm like, man, what is he doing?
Yeah,
So
no.
I was like, what is he doing? And he finally said what he was going to do. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. But I mean, he's a big influence of mine too, because he put everything out there really well. And
Yep.
and just listening to his podcast with Ruby, or
Culture of
listening
cloud.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, or listening to like the 510 Reporter, is a weekly vlog he does. It's just, I just really like listening to those. And then I would have to say, like, a lot of the smaller people like Clown and stuff, like Clown, Frames Janklin, people who don't have over 1,000 subscribers and stuff. I really like listening and watching to them, because it's like, okay, when you see someone that's bigger than you, like way bigger, like Rip Tippers and stuff, you're like, okay, there's no way I'm gonna get to that. But when you watch people like Frames and them, you're like, okay, these people are just like me, and they're saying the same things just like I am.
Yep.
And it just really gives you the motivation to go out there and actually do it, to show that anyone can do it. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be someone who's just starting out of YouTube. I've only had mine for like maybe 2 months. I'm almost to like 40 subscribers, something like that. And I mean, it's just a number, but it's it's just, I like watching the smaller people, and they're the people who really influenced me more, because it just shows you that you don't have to be someone huge to get a message out there. I
Yep.
mean, even if you're someone on Instagram or Facebook, just putting a little post out there about advocacy stuff like that, like Vinyl Vapor, he's always putting something out there on Instagram. You
Norcal
don't
Sick
have
Boy
to,
is always doing that.
yeah, you don't really have to be someone huge to make a difference. Everyone who does vape, or everyone who believes in something, should put what they believe out there. So that way, it's not like kind of like what I said. It's not that, well, what if I would have done something and now vaping is outlawed and banned throughout the whole country. I don't want to be that person who was, what if this? I
Yeah.
want to be the person who actually put something out there and said, okay, I did my part. I tried to help out. It didn't work, but I put my part out there and I tried to help out as much as I could.
You try to be the person that at least, I had a voice and
Mm-hmm.
I want to voice it out to other people too. And you're not, I'm not saying that we should all depend on, let's say, for example, a Green Green or a Rubiru or Eric Vinyl and Vapor or a Norcal Sick Boy. What we're mainly saying is they inspired us to do something for the community and to actually make our voices heard too in the community. Because back in the day, I think this was me. I was just like one regular viewer of like, vape shows,
Mm-hmm.
just like doing just like being on the sidelines. And we have like all our battles here and there with FDA, big tobacco, big pharma. But for me, I try not to be a bench warmer if that helps.
Yeah, yeah.
Because as far as I am as far as I am concerned, the least I can do for this community that extended my life, because smoking is very terrible for you, and it saved my life, and I went away, or I'm not smoking anymore. Dude, the least I can do is return, or not return, but like give something back to this community. So, speaking of inspirations, like one of the people that I'm inspired and always inspired is Chuck Allen Norco Sick Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, pumping out content, especially the Why I Vape project, because, dude, like one of the things that is really good in this community is you can do personal advocacy and then tag your representatives into it. Like you could actually just create a video, one like just a 1 or even like 30-minute video of yourself talking about why you vape and the reasons that you vape, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell them your story, and it's very much undeniable, irrefutable, because it's your personal experience that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I encourage each and everyone, if you have an Instagram, Twitter, or like a Facebook, that you could share a video of yourself speaking about why you vape. I suggest you like do it. I have personally like done it. In one of our episodes with Lab Works and Clown, I asked them that same question. Why do you vape? What, and we have like bunch of reasons. We have bunch of like reasons why we vape, and we enjoy flavors, we enjoy the community, we enjoy hanging around with our peeps. But more than that, it saved our life, or not just save our life, it extended our life.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I was gonna bring up too is everyone who I've helped, and this is not me just trying to gloat or anything like that or say I give out a lot of free stuff, but everyone I've helped vaping or helped get started with a setup or gave a setup or anything like that too, I've told all of them, if I gave you something, I don't want any money in return. If I
Yeah.
go out there and I give you this pod system, I don't want anything in return. The one thing I told them I wanted, ever since NorCal has started that why I vape, I told them, I was like, I want you to do a video. You could do it on your own, or we could do it like most of the time is I give a lot of my stuff to people at work who vape,
Yeah.
because we have a lot of people at work who smoke or trying to get into vaping and stuff like that.
Like what you said
And
last time, you gave like somebody your me pod.
yeah, so like
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to. What I'm gonna do is everyone who I've gave something and I've got them started on vaping, I told him I was like I want a why I vape video. One of the guys like, no man, I can't do that. I'm like, dude, all you gotta do is it's gotta be a 1 minute video. That's it.
Shoot
Not
yourself
not even a whole
something.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, just say this is why I vape. This is what it's helped me do. And like I've had a guy at work who I've helped smoked for 25 years. He was
Yeah.
from Vietnam, and he came over here, and he's been smoking for I think 25 years. He vaped for like 3 months, and then
Mm.
completely quit everything. And I was like, I asked him, I was like, okay, well, how did it help you? He's like, man, I can breathe, I can sleep at night. He's like, I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to go smoke a cigarette. He's like, I'm not having to walk out of the plant every 30 minutes to go smoke a cigarette. So that's what I pretty much told everyone. If I've given you something and I've helped you start vaping, I just want you to send me a video or you post it on your social media account so that way you can get more of the word out there. And a lot of them, they don't really know why I'm doing it. They're just like, okay, it's just he wants to see why we vape. No, it's because I want all the politicians and everyone who's trying to ban these vapor products that have helped us so much. I want them to see why people vape and how it's actually helped more than just the people who continue to vape. Because I got a lot of people at work who vape for a month or two and they quit everything, quit smoking, quit vaping,
Yeah.
and it's just something that's really good that I want to get the word out there for on that also.
Yeah, and that being said, we're led to like another segment that we have,
Mm-hmm.
and usually I try to like coincide it with a lot of things, and I try to say this not because I want to promote them, but I also want to appreciate like what they do in the community. But Wolfbite Appreciation Award, quote and unquote. So basically, like we do it because we want to let everyone know who the standouts in the community and who to follow, basically. So I think throughout this podcast slash live stream, pretty much everyone know that the Wolfbite Appreciation Award for this week would go to Thick Nick and Angela Garrity.
Oh yeah.
Because, dude, and let's be honest, they fuel us with all this vape news and advocacy, or Angela does, right? The vape news and advocacy. And, dude, like, no one, or some people know, but Thick Nick actually has a YouTube channel that you could search. It's Thick Nick. Basically, you could follow him, and he does reviews here and there, and he does live streams here and there too. But one of the things that I like them doing together is encouraging each and every one of us to continue the fight and just not just supporting us, but they also go the extra mile by spending time and giving out what they have. Recently, they just bought Ken, or Vaping with Ken, a ticket to go to NVE. And
Mm-hmm.
also, for those who don't know, Thicknick also gave something to Mr. Clown Vape so he can go to NVE. So like, dude, like they're just like the outmost giving person that I know as of the moment, aside from Mr. Just Right one. So he's another giving guy, but dude, they always just like give something without expecting anything in return.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we are actually here. It's just like, there are some people encourage us who encourage us, and there are some people who's been part of our lives that we want to also appreciate, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and Angela and Nick, man, they're great people.
Yeah.
Like I did a video with them, and the audio kind of got messed up, so we never got to post it. And we're gonna reschedule another one soon. But I mean, I talked to them for we recorded for like at least an hour and a half, but we talked on there for at least like almost 2 3 hours.
Yep.
And man, they're just some awesome people. I actually found out they live just maybe 30 45 minutes away from me. So
Dude.
we talked about going, yeah, me, her, Clown, Nick, and all of them. We're talking all about maybe going out to eat someday, meeting up in the halfway or something like that in a little town that we all know of and that they used to live in. So yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully it happens because that's one thing I really want to do is I want to start meeting more of I want to start meeting personally more of the people who actually are in the vape community. And I know like just Mr. Just Right One, he lives not too far either. And there's a whole bunch of people I meet on Discord or meet on YouTube that are actually pretty close to me. So that'd be pretty cool to meet a lot of them. And that's one thing I want to do, just be able to talk to them personally and share more knowledge and stuff.
Yeah, and Clown I think just lives like 5 minutes away from them. So,
Yeah.
dude, that's a good thing, man.
Oh yeah.
Texas. So yeah, now that we're 50 minutes in, 50, yeah, around right about that area. So usually I try to appreciate my guests and
Hmm.
specifically not just giving them time to promote, but first of all, I want to thank you for coming along on this podcast slash live stream,
Hmm.
because you do a good job on the community, and I'll be honest with you, and no one would tell this, and I'll tell you this personally, you're doing a good job in the community,
Thank
and
you.
I actually look up to you, and you might not notice this, but yes, I look up to you, and I always check your videos when they come out, dude. So
Thank you.
just continue what you're doing, man. And yeah, dude, I'll be expecting more of the Texas Cloud Sound weekend advocacy.
Oh yeah.
So yes, anything you want to promote or anything you want to share, any upcoming things on your channel?
Um, yeah, actually, I got a good couple amount of upcoming things. I got the gear I'm gonna be putting up soon,
Hell
and
yeah.
like you said, the advocacy videos. I'm probably gonna be put one up tomorrow morning, so that way everyone can wake up and watch it. And instead of watching cartoons, maybe you can watch a little bit of advocacy. And I also got the Axial I'm gonna be doing. I might do the Revenant Cartel also.
Yeah.
Um, for right now, that's pretty much it. And then I also am getting my Warlock's Hammer in soon
Dude.
once Mark and Amy get back from
Envy.
MVE.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once they get back, I'm gonna get that in. And I'm not too sure if I want to do the review yet once I get it, or if I want to wait because I really want to get it engraved with my logo on there.
Hell yeah.
And I've already bought the cap for the axial that I'm gonna put on there because I got a blue one. I'm gonna get the red cap, and I got it customized to how I want it, and they're just super cool people.
Dude.
I
Yeah.
can't wait for it.
Honestly, like Warlock's Hammer is one of the best things that I have, especially for a 21-700. It's the
Mhm.
only one or only mod that I kind of like prepared for batteries, to be honest. So
Yeah,
dual 30Ts, on a dual parallel box mod, dude,
yeah,
it's like a free train, man.
yeah. And I bought a couple parallels before I ended up purchasing it. I was like, man, I just want something cheap. Let me try it. And then once I was like, you know what? I really like mechs. The parallel suits me perfect. So let me go ahead and order one. And I'm just super excited and can't wait for it.
Yep. So yeah, basically check out Texas Cloud Town, on YouTube. Just search him, and also link is on the description already. And also follow him on Instagram. That's J underscore or J underscore Mike 23 on Instagram, dude. Follow Texas Cloud Town, man. Give the guy a follow and subscribe to the channel to his channel too. And that being said, for the Wolfbite sign off, you know it. You know it. Frank Wolfbite on Instagram, and also check out Clown Vapes on Instagram, please.
Hmm.
Clownvapes.com for all your vaping needs. If you want to email us anything, frankwolfbite@gmail.com and clownvapes@gmail.com. Also, we have a giveaway on Facebook. So if you check out facebook.com/Frank and Clown, because it's kind of like weird for Facebook. I don't know why they don't want us to do the Wolfbite kind of like channel. So, or Wolfbite podcast on the name itself, but it's Frank and Clown. All you need to do is comment down on that pinned post. Like, if you have any questions, suggestions, or any, mail you want to send us, you just comment on that and you're going to win a Gear RTA, two sets of Clown coils, and two bottles of a juice of your choice from clownvapes.com.
Man, that's gonna
Dude,
be good. I put his coils in my axial, and man, I'm loving it. And I still got two more.
yeah.
Dude, his coils are banging,
And
and
especially
his
dude, like my first impression on the Gear Arte, it's Flavor Town.
oh
I'll
yeah,
be honest with you.
oh yeah.
It has really good flavor, man. And yeah. So that being said, Wolfbite on Vape Radio, check it out. That's 12 noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific on Saturdays. On Sundays, it's on 9 p.m. Central and 7 p.m. Pacific with replays on soundcloud.com/wolf_bite. So yay! Remember, vape on, legends. Woohoo! Bye.
Bye, guys.